Hello my friends, it is so good to see you today. Welcome to my studio and to my YouTube channel. My name is Shailene Louise and I'm a watercolor painter from New Mexico. So today I'm going to be painting a hollyhock from our garden. And I love hollyhocks. I used to have a really great hollyhock patch in our little front garden bed. But I made the mistake of pulling up all of what I thought were just dead stalks of flowers at the end of the season. But I realized I actually pulled up a lot of roots. I realized that the next year. So I didn't get any of them that came back. None of them self-seeded. It was pretty strange. Usually they're pretty good about seeding themselves, reseeding. But last fall I went ahead and planted I think it's called a double blooming hollyhock. I think that's what it's called. So it kind of looks more like a carnation than like a standard hollyhock, which kind of has that hibiscus look to it. But I love these hollyhocks. Oh my goodness. When I first saw them bloom, it like took my breath away. They're like this beautiful champagne color. So beautiful. So I'm actually painting today in this brand new sketchbook I got from my friend Janine and her husband Manolo. I think it's so beautiful, handmade. I just totally cherish it, especially since friends made it. So very special piece that I have. And I only have a few paintings in it so far, but I'm excited to fill this one up. I also wanted to let you know that my membership, Bloom Watercolor Club, is opening in just a few weeks. So if you're interested in learning how to paint with watercolors, how to draw specifically botanicals and flowers, I would love to see you inside of there. So the doors are going to be opening. I can't remember which day I'm going to open. I think on the 7th or 8th. I'll have the information. I'll write it down on the screen. But I would love to see you inside of there. And I'll have the doors open for just 4 days. So you'll see a link below in the description. And if you click there, you can hop on the wait list. So whether you're watching this after the fact or before doors open, just hop on the wait list. Make sure to give me your email and I will let you know as soon as those doors are open. But it's a really amazing community. We have such kind, sweet, amazing, talented people inside there. All skill levels too. Some people are very advanced, really prolific artists. And then some people are people who've just picked up a paintbrush for the first time in their lives. So all kinds of interesting stories. And there's a really great community and a great place to share your art. And it's just amazing. I'm so grateful for this community. So would love to see you in there. Information is in the link down below. So something that I tried to be really intentional about in this painting was capturing all of the color that I was seeing in this, I keep wanting to call it a carnation. It looks like a carnation in this hollyhock. So in the photo, when I zoom in, when I look at it, I was seeing, shades of like lavender and peach and green and obviously pink and this deep burgundy color. There's so many colors inside of this hollyhock. A lot of times beginner artists can make the mistake of just looking at it and saying, oh, it's a pink flower, and just painting it pink, because at first glance that's what you're seeing and that's what your brain is telling you that you're seeing, until you put aside what your brain thinks and then lean on what your eyes are telling you, not what your brain is, preconditioned you to think about whatever flower you might be looking at. And, the same goes with these leaves. They're green leaves, but when I zoomed in, there were so many different shades. So much like cool moments, so many warm moments, very dark, very light, some yellow. There's all kinds of stuff going on in these leaves and in these petals. So I tried really intentionally to just paint slowly, build my layers slowly with a lot of intentionality. I try not to go too dark too quickly. I always will do my lightest layers first, using my largest brush, and then slowly we start to add a little bit more detail so it gets a little bit darker. Often my brush starts getting a little bit smaller as the painting process goes on, because the larger brush you have, the less control you have. The smaller brush you have, the more control you have. Hopefully I settled that correctly. But I always try and err on the side of using a large brush. It helps me to not be too fussy about details too soon. That's a mistake that I'm really prone to make, I think, is to try and start working on details too soon in the process. So I'm always trying to remind myself, just, blocks of color to begin with. Just get the lightest colors you're seeing, and then we're going to go back in. We're going to add those details. Don't worry. I have to remind myself of that. So after like 3 layers of painting this, the flower itself, watercolor dries very light, as you can see. At one point it looked like some of the things I was painting looked pretty dark, but it ended up drying really light. So I come back and I just layer in some darker colors, try and get all of those little shadows and crevices articulated in this flower. And again, I was seeing so many colors in that flower specifically. So I tried to really capture those blues without making it too gray. Really capture all of those little warm yellowish petals, and then the more cool petals. And then one detail I really enjoyed here was having just a dark moment of shadow on this bottom leaf, and then letting the rest of it be sort of light and impressionistic. So that pretty much sums up this really quick painting process. This took me about an hour altogether, so not too long. And I can't wait to see you again really soon. I'll be back in a couple weeks with another painting video. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.